Hello everybody, this is Maniac for Bricks, and I am here today with set number 4950, the Loader-Dozer, from LEGO Rock Raiders. This set is from 1999. It includes one minifigure and one big fig, perhaps. Do you call this a big fig by today's standards? It has 90 pieces, and it originally retailed for the price of $20. I mean, considering the amount of pieces, it's kind of amateur, but I think most of the pieces most of the price as far as the pieces go are for a lot of larger pieces, like this whole roll cage section, the base of the vehicle, the bucket, the big fig, and some other parts. As far as the instructions go, I was given this, I bought this set from a reseller. And from the reseller, they did not have it all stapled. So what they did was they laminated or put it in these little pockets to show off the instructions of the set. It's a relatively simple build and not hard by today's standards. It even shows you some of the play features in the back. And it shows you what the model is like assembled. It even has two alternate builds on the back for building it basically into two different types of boats. That's kind of creative. Wouldn't have thought of putting a bulldozer into a boat. So let's take a closer look at this set now. In this set, we only have one Rock Raider. This is Axel. And he's actually a pretty common minifigure between the Rock Raider sets. It's not too hard to find him. You have him in the Granite Grinder, the... I'm trying to remember what the other name was. There's some kind of laser set, mobile laser crane or something like that. Also in the larger set as well. There's no back printing on his face or on his torso. But he does have some nice front printing. I do like it. It is unique. And something that some of the other Rock Raiders don't have. The helmet is actually pretty cool. And fun fact, it's the same helmet that was later used for the Power Miners. Hey, does that seem familiar? It should. It's the same exact mold. Just a different color. Here is our big fig in the set. It's a rock monster. The original rock monster. Now, you might remember from Power Miners, the rock monsters got much smaller. Though they did have later ones that were bigger and had the throwing feature. But these are the originals, the OGs. This is only one giant piece. There's no extra assembly to make this figure. It's all one giant piece. It's actually kind of odd in that way because it only can have this one pose. Well, except for one arm. One arm can move all the way around in 360 degrees, but the rest of the body is stuck like that. You can't move it to be taller, you can't move the other arm, and has very little placement in terms of stud placement. Just has enough room here, and the rest of the studs just kind of snap in. You could fit minifigures or other pieces on the back of him, though, because they do have stud attachment there and there. And you can even fit a Rock Raider on here as if he's holding him up, trying to take him captive, or maybe he's trying to throw him. Sometimes take a little work to actually get to throw. You could smack him around. Let's put our minifig inside of the cab, which actually has a lot of space in here. And sometimes you could probably fit maybe 2 or 3 figs in here, depending on the set. I think usually it's 1, but it's pretty roomy in there for one guy to fit. So let's take a look at our Loader-Dozer. It's actually a nice, easy build. Nothing too complex. It does have some of the basic Rock Raiders color scheme, including some elements of black, light gray, dark gray. Both original ones, not the light bluish ones we see today, or dark bluish ones. And even that turquoise color, which is nice to see. It does have some basic lights on the top, so pretty small compared to other sets. These are actually very small lights to use and would actually look better if they were a little bit bigger for this type of vehicle. But you can move these around in different ways, so get different angles of lighting. Not actual lighting, but simulated lighting. You have the nice bucket in the front, which actually fits to a good size for this model. I'm not actually crazy about how close the wheels are. The way that this base is made is, you notice it's kind of one big giant piece, and it kind of forces these two wheels to be very close to each other. It may not be the greatest thing. I would have preferred if they were a little bit further apart, though. The back has probably the most accessories and most detail to it out of the entire set. This shows you your main function of the set, and it has some tools in the back, such as 2 different types of wrenches. Now, as far as the play feature, you get to not only push this up and down to lift the bucket, as you can see in the front, it pulls it on a chain, which is pretty interesting for a design, and pretty easy to assemble. But also, if you wanted to hold it up in the air, you move these 2 pieces down, and they'll lock it in place. So even if you pull this back up, it'll stay in place. And let's say you throw something on top of there, it won't fall down. So it'll actually catch it and hold it in there until you move these 2 back sections backwards. Then it'll give you the access to actually drop whatever is in there. So it's actually a nice little feature, easy to assemble. Again, maybe a little bit lacking in some details. It does have some hollow parts, mostly in the middle section, and a little funky in design, but I kind of like it. The cabin doesn't have a lot of detail inside of it, as I mentioned earlier. Just has a simple place for the minifigure to sit, which is actually easy to remove. So that is a nice placement of the plate and the tile. But there's only one printed computer piece inside of here. It's turquoise and has a relative showing of what's underground. I never really understood that printing because it seems kind of complex. And he's also holding a stick of dynamite, which at the time was simulated by a tile. For its time, I thought this was a pretty cool looking set. I liked the unique style of it and the unique style of Rock Raiders in general. I like the play feature with it because it seems like an interesting idea I haven't really seen too often with LEGO sets, although it is kind of making a return in some LEGO sets. I think Pirates now has one of the sets with it, with pulling something on a chain to make a feature work. It is cool. The funky design of it, maybe not so great or realistic compared to today. I mean, taking a look at this from the side is probably not the best in terms of a bulldozer or even a loader, but I think for its day, it had some nice value. I am partial to it because of the nostalgia, but I can also see how this would be a little bit, maybe seem like an unfinished kind of thing, and maybe a little bit odds and ends as far as what's big and what's small in this set. It kind of throws a bunch of colors together, not exactly coordinated, but I think it's okay. I'm not really saying it's a great set by today's standards or a bad set by today's standards. It's just somewhere in the middle. I do like the minifigure because it was cool to get him, but maybe a $20 set with one figure and one big fig is a little lower compared to what you could get today. The big fig in it is pretty cool. It is only in one of either 2 or 3 sets from Rock Raiders. I forget exactly how many, but it is a cool figure to get, although it does lack a lot of play features. The only real play features you have are just moving the arm up and down, and most of him is one solid piece, so maybe not the best. So thank you for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think about this set in the comment section below. I'll not really be sure if I can review more Rock Raiders right now. If I tried to go back and find some other pieces and rebuild some of the other sets, I'd be happy to review more of them. And we'll see you next time with more LEGO videos.